Nate,
Nick,
welcome.
thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate you coming, man.
Yeah, no, most definitely. No, most definitely.
We are excited to have you. I feel like the people listening are excited to have you. I feel like Bachelor Nation doesn't know a ton about you.
Yeah.
We're obviously big Michelle fans. We've enjoyed watching her journey. We enjoyed watching her fall in love with you, getting to know her. But, I know like AFR, but I just feel like a lot of people haven't gotten to know you. So my hope today is to get to know you, learn a little bit about you. Obviously, we'll have some questions about your experience on the show, the relationship, and see what you're able to share. And at the end of it all, I hope everyone listening just has a better understanding of who Nate is. It seems like, at least with some of your critics, or there's this perception out there that I guess you just give off some fuckboy energy, at least from the screen, right? I mean, even us on the show, I definitely made some comments and kind of was just more like, I don't know, you're an exceptionally handsome man. You really
appreciate that.
I've met you once before this, and I remember being like, you're beautiful, I hope I'm not making you uncomfortable.
But with great power,
but with great responsibility. Yeah. Now, when I think about it, I don't really, there's all this speculation. We hear a lot of things, but there's no real. It all seems to be just a perception of you.
Yeah.
Even myself, I don't really know you.
Yeah.
And so I guess I'm curious as to what do you have to say about that in general? And first address that. And then I want you to tell me, if you're willing, like, what was your first reaction to meeting Michelle?
Yeah, okay. So starting off with the fuckboy perception. I mean, I'll be honest, like, it's something that I've, it's something that, I've been getting called since, I was like, I don't know, probably like high school, like when a plane is landing, like when a plane is like descending, like you don't really like feel yourself getting closer and closer, maybe your ears pop or whatever, but you don't really feel and that's kind of like, can I pinpoint like, oh, this exact moment I was in love? I don't think so, but it is kind of like, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of like when a plane is landing, like, or not landing, but like starting to descend, like you don't really feel it. But all of a sudden you're on the ground when you were just like 10,000 feet up. So it's like, just slowly, just like all of a sudden, holy crap, I'm in love.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What about your decision to get engaged?
I remember the day before, I've always kind of just trusted myself in my decisions. And I remember, obviously the further you along in the journey that you go, that's a thought that like comes up quite often, especially when you're by yourself. And I just remember thinking like, I can see it. Like, this is like, let's take the jump. Like, I'm ready. Like this, let's spend the rest of our lives together. Like, I just remember just let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Like this is something that I can definitely see and feel. And I've never felt the feelings I felt. And I was like, this is something that's 1,000% going to last. And like, I know it's kind of like in theory, kind of crazy, but I was like, it's not crazy to me. Like, let's do this. Like, this is how I feel, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
Part of your storyline was kind of famously your stepdad saying that he wasn't sure if you were ready for this big commitment, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, that you had like never been in love before. Is that accurate? How did that make you feel when your stepdad said that? And I guess how did you know? I guess as someone who hadn't fallen in love before, did you feel like throughout your relationship that was like a struggle, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you never been in love before. I guess what I'm saying is, having never been in love before and then getting engaged on The Bachelorette, like how did you kind of process that kind of big leap? Like, how did you break up with her?
I broke up with her over the phone. So I know that.
I mean, you seem like a great guy. But if I'm being honest, like not the best.
Yeah.
Like, you want to think she's worth a plane ticket.
Yeah. No, it was just like,
is there like,
yeah, like, cause you don't want to break up with somebody, especially your fiance, over the phone. It was it's her birthday weekend, and she has all of her friends in LA. And, I mean, our relationship was, there was a lot of just, it wasn't as good as, our relationship was tough. There was lots of up and downs, lots of arguments, lots of fights, and just not really clicking, not really seeing eye to eye. I would never say I don't trust Michelle, but I know that there was like a moment where like I started questioning things because it was just like a confusing moment, and that kind of just led to some trust issues on my part too. So yeah, I think trust definitely kind of played like a.
Well, I mean, are you able to share what that moment was?
Yeah, so we're like I can only imagine like because she would tell me about the pressure. I can only like truly imagine the pressure of being the Bachelorette. You know what I mean? And there's pressures of like to always be perfect. There's a lot. You know, I can't pinpoint one, but I know like the pressures of being the Bachelorette. I think that truly did like, play a role in Michelle, because like I know like that like Michelle's like the most put together person I've ever met. It's like she is. You saw her on TV. She is
we're big fans.
Phenomenal. Like she's just so put together, so like political, so well spoken. And
she was very impressive as the Bachelorette.
Yeah, like a very impressive woman. And I think there was just like pressures of being the Bachelorette that once we left that world, I thought we were like, I kind of wanted to just be two normal people. And I think like there was always this like background pressure to just be as perfect as possible.
Did she block you? Or because we saw something on Instagram and like
the tags are gone.
The tags are gone.
Yeah,
and honestly, if whatever, like if you need to, you need to. But like, is that something that happened between you guys, or do you know why? If it did,
the backstory of that is kind of like an upsetting story. But yeah, she blocked me.
I think I know the answer, but I guess the reason why I want to ask this question is because clearly there's a lot of love that you've have or had for Michelle, and it's hard getting over your first love. Are there ever moments where you miss her?
Michelle and I, like the beginning of that relationship was probably one of the most beautiful things I've ever experienced in my entire life. We had so much fun. Like the beginning of our relationship was the most fun I've ever had with somebody ever. And I miss the Michelle I fell in love with for sure. And I've thought about this question before, and it's like I miss the Michelle that I fell in love with. I'm not sure I miss the Michelle I broke up with.